Las Venturas is the third and final city in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It has everything. The best cars, the best missions, wide open roads, and the chance to earn more money than anywhere else, or even outrun a police helicopter. In this video, I'll show you the facts and numbers that prove why Las Venturas is better than the other cities. Let's first look at where CG started. The story of Los Santos begins with CJ at the very bottom of the food chain. From the second he steps off the plane, he's treated like a man who has already failed. His brother Sweet constantly reminds him that he ran away when the family needed him most, and his homies, they don't respect him. Ryder calls him a fool, Big Smoke talks down to him, and the police use him as a pawn. CJ has no authority here. When CG arrives in San Fierro, he is at his absolute lowest point. He has been exiled from Los Santos, his brother is in prison, and his gang has fallen apart. He wins a rundown garage in a car race, but instead of giving up, CG turns that garage into legitimate business. The story in San Fierro is all about CG learning to be a professional. He starts working with bigger players like the Triads and their leader Woozy. CG's main mission here is to track down the Loco Syndicate, the group responsible for sending drugs back to his home neighborhood. He pretends to work for them, but eventually taking them out one by one. San Fierro is the place where CG proves he is smart enough to survive on his own and strong enough to build an empire from nothing. This sets him up for his eventual journey to the desert. Once you cross the desert into the neon lights, the tone of the game shifts completely. This is the only city on the map where CG is treated with professional respect. Woozy and his associates refer to CG as partner or associate. The planning for the Caligula's heist proves how far he's come. In Los Santos, plans were shouted on street corners. In Las Venturas, CG is in a private room with blueprint maps, briefing a team of professionals. In most Las Venturas missions, CG is the one giving the orders or coordinating a heist crew. Even the enemies change here. In Los Santos, your final threat is Big Smoke, a local guy from the neighborhood. In Las Venturas, it's the three families of the Mafia. When Salvatore Leone, the most powerful mob boss in the series, calls CG "my man," it's a sign that CG has moved from neighborhood beefs to the major leagues of organized crime. The reason Las Venturas stands out as the best city for CG is actually made clear by how the story ends. When CG finally goes back to Los Santos to pick up Sweet from prison, he is a different person. He has millions in the bank, business stakes in a garage and a casino, and connections across the state. He offers Sweet a fresh start. But Sweet won't have it, he only sees the brother who left the hood. Los Santos gave CG his start, and San Fierro taught him how to build. But Las Venturas is where he actually won. It's the only place that recognized the scale of what he was capable of doing. Now let's talk about the missions. Everyone remembers the frustrations of that damn train in wrong side of the tracks or struggling with Zero's RC planes. But those missions are usually just standalone tasks. You drive there, you shoot that, or you master a difficult vehicle. Las Venturas here changes the pace by introducing multi-stage operations. Even though the game is still linear, the scale of the missions feel much bigger. Instead of just doing random jobs, you're working through a long chain of events that all leads to one specific goal. While Las Venturas only has about 20 main missions, the average complexity and the variety of mechanics are the highest in the entire game. The best example is breaking the bank at Caligula's. This project basically laid the groundwork for the heist we see in GTA Online today. What's interesting here is how the developers created this illusion that your preparation actually matters. By forcing you to complete a checklist of homework missions, they make you feel like you're building the heist piece by piece. First, you have to infiltrate the city planning department and photograph blueprints just to learn the layout. Then you have to seduce a casino employee to secure a keycard for access. After that, you're parachuting onto a dam to shut down the city's power. Next, you're stealing a military helicopter equipped with a massive magnet to lift an armored van right off the streets. And finally, you have to hijack a set of police bikes to use for the getaway. Even if it's all pre-recorded and linear, it feels way more rewarding to finish something that you took so many steps to set up. The only real exception to the linear rule is the mission where you have to get that keycard. It's probably the most flexible moment Rockstar put in San Andreas, because the game actually reacts to how you decide to handle it. And here you have 3 ways to handle it. You can go on dates and build up a relationship until she trusts you enough to hand it over. But if you're in a rush, you can actually just kill her right there on the first date. Then just walk right into her house and grab the card. Or you can start the relationship and then ruin it completely. It doesn't matter. The card still stays in her house just waiting for you to steal it. This shows that Rockstar was willing to experiment with the mission logic in Las Venturas. It feels way more dynamic than the drive-by and run stuff from the early game. When you finish all the missions, there's still a lot to do in Las Venturas. Here I'm talking about side activities. Now, when discussing side activities in San Andreas, opinions usually drift into personal preference. Some prefer the gang wars, others the driving school. But if we look strictly at mechanical depth, Las Venturas introduces the most sophisticated ecosystem in the game, the casino. Let's first look at the competition. Take a lowrider challenge or the dancing minigames. Mechanically, these are purely reactive loops. The game gives you a prompt, a directional arrow, and you press the button in time. Once the script ends, the interaction is over. Even the valet missions are just closed loops of driving from A to B. The casino tables, specifically blackjack and video poker, demand something different. You have to look at your hand and make a choice. You have actual control over the outcome, rather than just following a scripted rhythm. Then there's the progression. Just like driving or stamina, you have a specific gambling skill that levels up the more you play. But while higher stamina just lets you sprint longer, a higher gambling skill actually changes the economy of the game. As that bar goes up, you unlock the higher roller tables and higher borrowing limits. You go from grinding small change at the slot machines to betting big money in a single hand, scaling your potential rewards in a way no other activity allows. Let's look at the actual numbers here, because the scaling is honestly ridiculous compared to anything else in the game. Once you grind your gambling skill up to the maximum whale level, the max bet on the high roller tables jumps to $1 million. And if you put that million on a single number in a roulette and get lucky, the payout is 35 to 1. That is $35 million in a single spin, and it only takes about 10 seconds. To put that into perspective, let's look at the other jobs CG can do. Take a wallet missions in San Fierro. To match that one lucky spin at the roulette table, you would have to park roughly 70,000 cars perfectly. Or look at the lowrider challenge. Even if you nail every beat, the wager is capped at $1,000. You would have to win that minigame 35,000 times just to match what you can make in Las Venturas in 10 seconds. But the strongest proof of mechanical complexity lies in the consequences. In almost every other side activity, the failed state is contained. If you lose a lowrider competition, the mission just ends. The casino is the only activity that punishes you outside the minigame. If you dip into negative funds, you trigger a specific debt mechanic. The game doesn't just show you a negative number on screen. Eventually, you start getting angry phone calls.
Hey, Mr. Johnson, just a friendly reminder that you owe me money. Don't be a stranger.
And if you don't pay up, the game sends some angry NPCs to find you in the streets. So this perfect mix of your own choices, high stakes, and actual consequences is why it's objectively the best side activity in the game. You obviously noticed that in Las Venturas there are more premium cars on the roads than anywhere else in the state, and that is because how the game's configuration files are built. The game world is divided into zone tags, like poor, residential, or rich. Each tag is linked to a specific vehicle pool. While Los Santos and San Fierro have rich zones, Las Venturas has the highest concentration of them in the entire map. And here is the key difference. Even though a rich zone in Los Santos uses the same vehicle pool as one in Las Venturas, the traffic limits are not the same. The pop cycle configuration file allows for much higher car density on the wide roads of Las Venturas. More cars spawning at once means more slots for the engine to pick an expensive model from that pool. Then there are the hotel zones. This specific tag is unique only to Las Venturas, and it's configured to pull only from the premium car pools. While a standard rich zone might still mix in some basic sedans, the hotel zones focus almost entirely on the executive and sport classes. And finally, there is the night cycle. In other cities, the hotels traffic to quiet down after dark, but in the hotel and strip zones of Las Venturas, the density stays at peak. Between the active traffic and the massive parking spots around casinos, you are guaranteed to find the fastest wheels in the game. So simply, if you're looking for some premium cars, Las Venturas is the best city to find it. And if you want to try those premium vehicles, Las Venturas is also the best place to do that. It might sound strange at first, but looking at the whole game, the most popular side activity is just driving. In Las Venturas, the infrastructure is built for speed, while Los Santos has mostly narrow streets and San Fierro is full of 45-degree inclines and 90-degree turns. Las Venturas gives you the Julius Freeway, a 5-mile loop with 4 lanes and 0 elevation changes. But the real advantage of these wide, flat roads is how much they help you with the side missions. If you ever try the paramedic mission in San Fierro, you know the pain of flipping the ambulance on a hill. In Las Venturas, the flat ground allows you to finish the mission about 20 to 30% faster than in Los Santos or San Fierro. And it's the same story with the firefighter and taxi missions. The wide roads let you maintain top speed, finishing missions faster and earning more money. You might also have noticed that Las Venturas is the easiest city to run away from the police. The Julius Freeway is a perfect loop where you can maintain a constant top speed. Because of how the game's AI handles roadblocks, if you're moving fast enough, the engine literally struggles to spawn units ahead of you in time. And here's kinda interesting fact: Las Venturas is the only place where you can actually outrun the police maverick on the ground. In a straight line, an Infernus or a Turismo can hit its maximum speed cap, which is actually faster than the helicopter's tracking speed, so you can literally drive away from the air support until it despawns. So the roads in Las Venturas aren't just about going fast, they also make the entire game more rewarding and less frustrating to play. Well, that's all the facts. At this point, it's fair to say that Las Venturas is the peak of the San Andreas experience. But of course, maybe you still prefer Los Santos or San Fierro. Let me know in the comments which city you like the most after all these years. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.